Welcome back to All Things Covered. Bryant, McFadden, Patrick Peterson. Like we promised you guys, right after the intro, we got a special guest. This is a bonus episode right before Christmas. So we're going to deliver the gifts right before Christmas. So make sure you guys pay attention to what's about to happen. This is legendary right here. Number one, I'm a big fan. Pat P, he a big fan as well. We've been rocking with this dude for a long, long time. One of the more consistent rappers in the game, a legendary hip-hop artist, trendsetter, sports fan. You can follow him
Yes,
on
sir.
social media, My Fabulous Life on Twitter and Instagram. Like I said, one of the biggest rappers of our generation. You know what I mean? Globally, doing big things, man. Fab, appreciate you joining us here on All Things Covered. Man, we see you right now riding real decent, but man, how's everything going with you?
Everything good, man. Thank y'all for having me. Like you said, man, you gave me the best. Like, you got to come speak for me everywhere I go, man. I need you. I need that introduction that you did right there, man. Like, I don't know, man. I know you come from the field, but like, behind that mic, you really got a career ahead of you with that, man. Like,
Hey,
thank you, man.
man,
It's good to be here.
whatever you need, I'm there.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, yo, Fab, man, we're gonna jump right into it, man. We know your schedule is very hectic, but we know OBJ was our guest last week, if I'm not mistaken. But
Okay.
we heard that you was not very fond when you heard that he was getting drafted away from one of your New York favorite Giants.
Yeah, I didn't like the trade. OBJ is not only the homie, but I also think he's an exciting player. He's a key piece to a team because not just the excitement, but his talent level helps rise the teams. He helps to come be a part of the team because of what he does. But I think he raises the energy of a team as well. You know what I'm saying? And I think for what he does, I think the Giants was the kind of organization, franchise that needed that. They needed a uplift. They needed a star player. They needed somebody that, was going to take that weight on his shoulders. And you need a star player to take that weight. You know what I mean? They take the good and the bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just felt like, they had that player. They haven't had that player for a while. And when they finally got one of Odell's magnitude, I just felt like they let it go, man. And I was excited about seeing him and Saquon Barkley together on the field.
Yeah.
I was excited about even a new quarterback prospect, but having somebody like Odell to throw the ball at. And I don't know, man. To me, I feel like the Giants organization, they make a lot of I know it's a business. I know it's, you can't get your feelings involved in players and contracts and stuff like that. But sometimes I just felt like they didn't give it a shot to see where it go. I think 1 year at least they could have seen where it could have went. But I mean, like I said, it's a business and they let them go. But that wouldn't have been my move if I was GM. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt, no doubt. Well, Fab, let's transition to the hardwood. What type of dilemma were you put in as a basketball fan growing up? You were a Knicks fan, and then the Nets moved to Brooklyn. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So talk about that dilemma and who you currently root for.
Well, here's how it is. I'm a hometown guy, right?
Yeah.
So Brooklyn never had a team. Now, my uncle, longtime Knicks fan, kind of brought me up under his wing and watched Knicks games with him, and but then this guy named Michael Jordan came along, and I was like, I don't know, Unc, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling this guy, man, and I kind of turned into a Bulls fan just off of Mike. I had never even probably seen a Chicago Bulls game until Mike came over there. Like, his impact on basketball kind of shifted me over. But I still always was a hometown fan because of where I'm from. So if the Knicks is playing somebody else besides the Bulls, I'm gonna go for the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? But then now we going back to what you said. Then the Nets come to Brooklyn, and I'm just like, oh, that's really home team. That's really home base. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Brooklyn, so I had to rock with, and I love what the organization was doing as far as like tapping in with Brooklyn, like tapping in with people who were from there, tapping in with the community. They gave a lot of feedback and even financial benefits to the businesses that were around the stadium. They hired a lot of Brooklyn people there. I would see like friends and family of people I knew throughout the neighborhood, throughout Brooklyn, who are working now in the Barclays. So I just like, as an organization, what they came in and did.
Yeah, no
So
doubt.
you think the personality of KD and Kyrie can get and possibly James Harden is what we hear can work?
I think so, man. It's gonna be interesting too, because they got Steve Nash over there coaching, and Steve Nash is a point guard, come from a point guard background, and I think he could be some help to gelling a coach relationship with Kyrie. I think we've seen Kyrie in a couple different situations where I don't think he was really in tune with the coaching. You know what I'm saying? And I think maybe Steve Nash is going to be part of his job to gel that situation over there. You know what I'm saying? I think KD is going to come in there and do what he does. What I'll say, I think he's going to come in there and be KD. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of the players that you can't even put a finger on KD, because he's so well-rounded in what he could do, you know what I'm saying, and bring to a team. So I just think he's gonna be him, and the Brooklyn Nets is gonna benefit for that. But I'm interested to see that Kyrie and Steve Nash relationship.
So Fab, tell me this though, most player coaches don't have like a good outing whenever most players that transition into coaching, that's good players, that was great players in the league, that transition into coaching don't normally have a good outing. So how do you think this Steve Nash hire could be different?
I don't know. I heard about that, man. That's kind of weird for me, because I thought it would be the opposite way. I thought, a coach coming in who used to be a player would, could see things from a player's, point of view, could understand how players feel on and off the court. And then I also, it was a similar situation like in music when Jay-Z became president at Def Jam. And it was back and forth, because people was like, I don't know about the president being an artist, or, you know what I'm saying? Where, kind of I looked at it as a situation where I was signed to Def Jam, and I was like, well, we got somebody who come from the same walk of life as we came from. So I was actually, kind of excited to see where it was going to go. I couldn't say if it was going to be good or bad, but I wanted to see, once you put an artist in that situation, what it would do. So that's why I said I'm excited about the Nash and Kyrie situation, because, they both was very good point guards, very much team leaders. And I wanted to see how that coach to player relationship is going to go. Like you said, sometimes it doesn't work out, but I don't want to go by the past. I'm gonna treat every experience, every situation with the two people that's in it versus, somebody else's situation.
Well, no doubt. Let's talk about your career, Fab. Let's talk about the music, right? Now,
Yeah.
Regardless if it's sports or music, every successful individual, they have that breakout moment where they knew things would never be the same. For you, musically, what was that breakout moment? Because I remember when you jumped into the game, you weren't known as Fabolous. You were known as Sport Fab, right?
Yeah, I was
because
Fabulous
of the polo.
Sport.
Yeah,
My
Fabulous
nickname
Sport.
in my neighborhood was Sport. You know what I'm saying?
Because you rock the polo gear, right?
Yeah, from Polo Sport. And
yeah.
Fabulous came about because kind of like an accident. I said I was the Fabulous vocabulist in my rap or something. And I think Clue thought I was saying my name was Fabulous, but it ended up sticking. And long story short, like, it became a name that, nobody else had or dared to use, or, it just was different. And I think in that space where I didn't really have like a complete rap name and just was rapping with my neighborhood nickname, which I didn't think had a great ring for hip hop or for a hip hop name, it kind of just fell in my lap and I just ran with it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's just worked for me to this day.
Oh man, that's dope. Hey, so at what point? Because obviously, Fabolous, it like you said, it stick with you. And me and Matt, we was talking about this earlier in that episode. We was talking about fashion. And I'm a guy. I like fashion. I like other. I observe off IG or whatever. But I recognize you got a very, very, very high fashion
Boy
tolerance.
got a lot of heat. He got a lot of heat, Pat.
He got some bangers.
He got some heat.
So what really got? And I know you from New York, obviously one of the fashion capitals. But what really got you into fashion? Like, what really caught your eye about it?
I think I want to say it started from shoes. To be honest, I feel like it started from sneakers, and then it worked my way up throughout the '90s. There was so much style in hip hop, and I fell in love with the culture of hip hop. And if you look back or think back, you know, it was so much diversity in the fashion of hip hop at that time. Of course, it was very baggy, but it was, you know, even down to the black designers, from the Carl Kanaj to the cross colors to all of those things. That it was just so much diversity and so much, you know, something new or something fresh or something a good look or a good vibe that you never really seen before. It wasn't about doing what somebody else was doing. And I think that originality is what kind of like tapped into me about fashion, about, you know, having your own style and your style or your look speaking for you before you even open your mouth. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where it connected with me at. And you know, you know, we come from humble beginnings too. So, you know, when you have on a good outfit or you have on a good pair of shoes too, you know, it raised your level of confidence, or it make you feel good about where you're going. You know, even when you was going to school, you know, if you had them new Jordans on, like, you felt a different way going to school. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't wait to get there. You know what I'm saying? It's a good day that day.
Hey, I was ready to approach any girl I saw in the hallway when my
Y'all gotta see me. I'm hanging out in the hallway a little bit later. I'm chilling. You know what I mean? I put us up in the chair. You know what I mean? It's a different whole swag when you got your thing on. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think that's what tapped into me, man. And I never really did it for, you know, everybody's you know, opinion or accolade or compliments. It was just more like how it made me feel. You know what I'm saying? It raised my feelings and my emotions to the level that I felt like, you know, I was the man, I was the guy. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I took it from. You know what I'm saying? And it ended up running parallel for me too with what I was doing as an artist. When I became an artist, that's another thing too. When they hear your music, you know, they might hear at that time too. It wasn't as visual as, you know, social media and stuff. So when they might hear your music and didn't see you yet, so now you've been listening to somebody and you almost imagining them, but you want to see what this person look like, what they styles like, what they, you know, how they rock their clothes, how they, you know, what's their haircut, all of those things come about with your style. You know what I'm saying? And I recognized that early, you know what I'm saying? And it ran parallel with my, you know, my career.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this much, Fab. Keep doing what you're doing, because real recognize real. And me and Pat P, we believe in the fashion as well. But man, you the top guy right now. Hey, I got to get, if I had a ball cap on, I'd tip it to you in tribute, but I don't got one on. But you the top guy right now. So keep doing what you're doing, man. Hey, keep doing what you're doing, man.
Yeah, no doubt. So collabos
though? Yeah, I mean, what I've been tapping into, you know, especially this year, 2020, is I've been trying to tap in, and you know, not to down no high-end designers and all that, but I've been really trying to tap into a lot of the young black designers, young black lines. You know what I mean? They always send me stuff. I always represent it. I always try to use my platform to show, you know, I get a lot of stuff from everywhere, but you know, I especially enjoy when the young black designers tap in. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like for a long time too, we were, you know, like kept out of that lane. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's and I don't even like to project that, just the high end brands is the only cool, or it's the only way to be fly. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of talent out here, man. It's a lot of guys who coming up with really, really dope stuff. And, I like to tap in with that. So most of my collab work or anything that I'm working with in the past, 6 months to a year, has been pretty much in that direction. You know what I'm saying? I still work with a lot of guys, of course, and a lot of other brands that are, big time brands, but, they already big time to me, you know what I'm saying? And I think, some it's guys who need a hand, or even like you said, came up on my music. And
hey man, keep doing what you're doing, man. When the ball drop, you already know what time it is. But when you look at the pandemic and the current situation that we all involved in, how has the pandemic affected the music industry?
I mean, it's affected it greatly. I think even overall, this music that we rock to, this year. But I think, if clubs was open or people was more social and active, there's certain songs that would have been way bigger than they are at this point. You know what I mean? There's a lot of artists who might have been way bigger as well. If they could get out and do shows, if they could, you know what I'm saying? So it's really, it's really shrunk the industry a little bit, but at the same time, everything has its gift and its curse. And I think, people had to use that time to perfect their craft, to build their social media, build different ways for people to get into their music. You know what I mean? If you can't do shows, you have to do it, find another way, it's taught people how to be hustlers too within the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people was, sitting back and just letting whatever the bag come to them. Now you got to get out there and get the bag too. So, you know what I mean? Or it's taught people to do different things, man. And I, like I said, it's a gift and a curse in it. But I think, for the most part, a lot of people learned a lot more about themselves and about really how to navigate through music, by not having so much to do and having to run around or travel and, all of those things. So it's definitely affected the music industry greatly. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I want to say, going through this pandemic, one of my favorite things to watch is definitely the Verzuz battle.
Yes, sir.
So talking about the Verzuz battle, how do you think you and Jadakiss battle turned out?
I think it was dope, man. Kiss is my brother. Well, I think what people underestimate too is how much of a legend that Kiss is in that regard. And like, I'm a fan of Kiss. Like I know people put us like in the same, same class. I came up listening to Kiss. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Kiss is like my brother. So it was never like, it's not the same situation maybe with like, a Jeezy and Gucci or, anybody else. Kiss is somebody that I have a high level of respect for. We've worked together. We've traveled together. We've done even things that on and off camera together. And, we have a great relationship. So it was always about us just celebrating each other, having a good time. So I was, pleased with the outcome. It was, I know the barbershop talking. I know everybody place their bets and figure who they rooting for. And you know what I mean? I know how that goes. And that's a part of it. You know what I mean? That's a part of the whole engine of Verzuz. But for us, it was about us just having a great time.
No question. It's a celebration.
Showcasing this catalog, doing a couple records. You know what I mean? It was great, man. I like I said, I love being on the same stage with Kiss. This is somebody that before I was even in the game, I was sitting on a block listening to Kiss. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's an honor all the way around.
Well, hopefully, Fab, you and Kiss can get together again, because that last Freddie and Jason album was on point.
Oh man!
Y'all boys are coming.
We gotta lock in for that again too.
Yes. Sure. Yeah, make sure, man. Y'all keep providing the streets.
Hey, and one of my favorites though is that
the first one. The first one.
I like
number one.
You
like three?
I like three.
I like one, Pat.
With the Martin outro.
Oh yeah, the Martin, Jada,
yeah. That thing.
I had to put that on there, man. I had to put. I wanted to take it back to that feeling of sometimes skits used to like bring the whole feeling together to a joint. You know what I'm saying? So I think on that joint, I used the Gina joint and I used the
You
the
used a
joint
couple
from
Jones.
Baby Boy, I think too.
Baby Boy, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like those scenes, I think the song was called Situationships.
Yeah.
And those two people, those two relationships is like strong relationships in our Black culture. And you know what I mean? So I knew it would tap in and people would understand and get it. You know what I'm saying? And I think, I think sometimes the skit is a lost art in the in the albums, because every classic album you could think of had like a skit where you know what I'm saying, where it just brought everything together. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
man. Hey, that Soul Take One got me, man. That Mo Brooklyn, Mo Harlem got me. Whenever I listen to that, bro, I'm from the South, but it makes me feel like I should be from New York. Anytime I hear that Mo Brooklyn, Mo Harlem,
that vibe, the vibe of the music and everything, it just feel like like you ride through the city, like you know what I'm saying.
No question.
Take you there, like you know what I mean.
I need my triple fat goose on. I need some Timbs. I need me a beanie. You feel me? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick before we get the superlatives of the show, last question for you. We talked about the Verzuz battle. They all have been spectacular. I've enjoyed every one. You know what I mean? So shout out to Swiss and Timberland for breaking that up. But what would be your dream battle to watch as a fan when it comes to Verzuz?
Oh,
probably
good one right here.
It gotta either be Dre versus Puff.
Ooh.
Just because of those two catalogs, or even though I don't even know if this is the right battle. Two of my favorites in the game would be, I think, Hove versus Drake.
Man, I said that, man. I said
and
both catalogs extensive.
And I put that based on the volume of music that both of them is. You know what I mean? They're two different complete artists, of course, two different eras.
Right.
But when you talking about guys that got them joints that speak to you, that connect to the masses, those are two guys that got it. You know what I'm saying?
That's heavy. No question. No question. So we're gonna transition.
But I don't think you could do with either one of those two matchups. I don't think you could do 20 joints. You gotta get them folks.
About 30.
They got
50 bag.
And hey, I'll be there for everyone too. I'm not even leaving my seat.
No doubt about it.
I gotta make sure I don't drink any water before they start, because I can't afford to have any bathroom breaks.
Yeah, it's too many. It's too many records, man. They can't go 20. Like I would be mad if it was 2020. I'd be like, nah, y'all left, because there's so many records that's gonna get left off. You're gonna be like, nah, man, they gotta do another round or something.
No doubt. So we're gonna hit you with these superlatives, Fab. Clearly, you can handle pressure. So we want your honest, legit answer, right?
Okay.
First question for you. You from Brooklyn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brooklyn probably has the most iconic rappers ever.
Mm-hmm.
Give me your Mount Rushmore of Brooklyn rappers.
Big Daddy Kane.
Mm-hmm. Smooth Operator.
Notorious B.I.G.
Yep.
Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm. That's
Fab.
In fact, that's what I don't have an issue with that. Who will be the first one on the outside looking in? You still got some other names that you can throw out there. You got female, you got Foxy, you got Lil Kim.
I would have to put Kim. Kim is arguably one of the most impactful female rappers to ever hit the game.
Yeah.
Just because of how the way she changed the game as far as fashion and being the crew girl, like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's not a lot of, before her and after her, there's not a lot of people to, there's comparisons, but Lil Kim, I think definitely, like, even if I took any person off of that Mount Rushmore, I would have to put Kim there because of her impact, what she brought to the game.
Hey, I'm not mad at you. I like that.
Your best song that's suited for a sports stadium.
Oh man, for a sports stadium or arena, I want to answer this one for Fab, but I want to hear what he's gonna say, Pat, because I know what the best song would be if I had to pick.
I'm gonna go Breathe. Breathe.
I knew he was gonna hit that Breathe. That's what I was gonna say.
Go Breathe. I think the energy, is something about it. The beat, it's I've heard a few of my songs in different in different sports arenas, but I always felt like Breathe is something about it that connects to it. It's not a sports, it doesn't reference sports in any way, but it just has that energy. You know what I'm saying? It's a feeling.
Fab, you know what I thought you was gonna say?
Which one was you gonna say?
BOMBS. Back on my Bulls.
Oh yeah, Bombs is
Bombs.
Bombs is like that's like again, I had to do that record because I was a Bulls fan in that time. You know what I mean? I remember that intro being like almost like a hip hop song to me. Like it was something that I looked forward to hearing. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was crazy.
Man, listen, man, you came with that heat with that one. All right, so I got one for you. When you look at your career, you know what I mean, the lyrics that you have spit, they're everlasting in my opinion. But you found a way to incorporate sports into your lyrics as well. So I want to hear what's your best sports lyric, but I want to read some of your lyrics off to you. All right?
Okay.
So the first one, they tried to put 2 9s on me just like Gretzky, but my lawyer saw through it just like wet teas. All right? I got another one for you. If she for everybody, don't you let her claim up on you. Now listen, you gave up on me. I came up on you, took my talent somewhere else. LeBron James up on you. I was Kyrie with the rock, the crack game number 2. That's special. Hey, Pat, that boy got something, don't he?
Yeah, you got something.
It made me feel like I was a rapper just then. That boy got something. So look, what's your best sports lyric?
Man, it's so many, bro. Like it's I'm a natural sports fan. I watched all coming up. I watched basketball, football, and baseball. So I was always a fan of sports. I always incorporated it in my music because if I wasn't somewhere, a lot of times if it's Sunday brunch, I gotta have a TV there so I can watch football on Sunday, or anything that I'm doing, I'm always incorporating hip hop and sports in it. So when you say which exact line,
give us some.
Man,
I know you got some.
I'm gonna start from having 2 9s on me like Sap from the Bucks to I did a whole Kobe. I would have to say the whole Kobe, the
Black
whole
Mamba
Kobe
freestyle
joint I did, man. Yeah, the Mamba joint, that the Mamba freestyle, all the references in there, all of the, Kobe was after Jordan, that he became my favorite player, and like when he retired, I just had to like pay homage because his strength on and off the court is what helped give me confidence in what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
no doubt.
I've made so many sports references, but the Kobe freestyle was something that I just felt like I had to do because of my connection to his career. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt, man. Fab, man, we definitely appreciate you for your time. But before we let you go, is there anything you want to pub? I know you got the merchandise. I know you're doing a lot. You got the record label, but is there anything you want to pub when it comes to the merchandise? Where can we get it? Where can we come out and support you? You do a great job in supporting others, but we want to make sure that our fans, our viewers and listeners do the same thing, especially being able to support you. So, fill us in on what you got.
Man, of course, the merch is live. The company's called Blood Sticker. You can always check it online at bloodsticker.com or on Instagram at Blood Sticker. We got new artists coming this year. One to definitely look out for is my boy Josh K out of Chicago. He just dropped a project called Lover's Lane Act 2. And I'm working on some new stuff too, man. I just had a good conference call with Def Jam, so I'm gonna be out there in a minute too. So I just use 2020 to really gear up for 2021, man, and it's gonna be a big year coming.
So 2021, you dropping a new project? That's what you're telling us here?
I'm dropping a few projects, not a new. Change the N to an F. A few projects.
Few projects.
There we have.
I can't wait.
Hey, we can't wait. We're gonna be patiently. Me and Pat P. We're gonna be patiently waiting. One thing I can say though, Fab, man, your music is bumping in a lot of locker rooms, bro. Not just football wise, but NBA everywhere. People show you support, especially people down in South Florida. Because, like I said, man, we from the South, so we rock and roll with you.
I appreciate you, man. And the South been supporting me just as much as New York. Every time I go down, I feel the love. I feel, the Southern hospitality when I'm there. And I always get a lot of love everywhere I go, man. And I appreciate y'all too for having me on All Things Covered and just checking in. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys, y'all have done y'all thing. I seen, I checked in on the podcast when they told me about it. I said, yo, these guys is, they do their work, man. They about their work. So I'm happy to be here and fucking with y'all, man.
Man, appreciate it, man. You be safe, man.
All right, love.
Happy holidays, champ.
Happy holidays, G.